Hi you guys, it's TA Megan, and last week I read a book for all of you and only one person voted, but they didn't circle anything. So I had my son choose out of the three of which one we would read today, and we chose Charlie Comes to Town. First reason, we have a student named Charlie in our classroom. Second reason, who doesn't like trains? And this book looks like it's about trains. So let's start. I'm going to read the words and then show you pictures, okay? Charlie was a happy little train. He loved going up, down, and all around the countryside. One day, there was an emergency in the nearby town. One of the enormous trains that went to the city had broken down. Another train would have to fill in. They needed Charlie. Charlie was so proud. Being a big city train will be so exciting, he thought. He was happy, even though he would miss the green and quiet countryside. It was Charlie's first day in the city. It was scary. So many tracks and trains and signals and sounds. Charlie looked up at the proud, shiny engines. They seemed like giants to him. Can you see Charlie amongst all those big trains? There he is. They were big. The big trains ran right past Charlie. They tooted their deep, loud whistles at him as they raced by. "Can't you move any faster?" Their whistles seemed to shout at Charlie, and that made him feel sad. He heard loud laughter. "Look at the tiny train. They sent to help us," tooted one of the big engines. "We can. What can he do?" The other trains started to laugh too. Uh-oh, that's not nice. "I'll show them," Charlie thought. "I'm going to be the best train they ever saw around here, even if I am little." He worked very hard. It wasn't easy. All of those stations and signs and signals, there was so much to try to remember. Charlie was always late getting to work and always late getting back. "Oh, you're just a little country train," said one of the big engines. "You'll never be a real city train." They're kind of picking on him. "Watch those signals, Charlie." Charlie tried to remember what all the blinking lights were for, but the poor little train got confused. "What's the matter, Charlie? Can't you read the signals?" The big trains tooted and hooted as they roared by. Charlie was trying to be a good city train, but he was sad and lonely. The other trains weren't friendly, and the work was hard. He wondered if he really belonged in the city after all. One night there was a terrible rainstorm. Charlie sat in the station and cried tears that were as big as the biggest raindrops. Maybe those city trains are right, he thought. I can't run as fast as they can or read the signals as quickly as they do. Maybe I'd better go back to the country. The next morning, the sun was shining again, but there was trouble on the railroad. The big storm had washed away a whole section of the track. All the trains had come to a stop to see what could be done. Uh-oh. Do you see where the track washed away? Good thing they stopped. There was only one way to get through. The trains would have to go up and down and all around the tracks that went through the nearby hills. This won't be a problem for me, roared the biggest engine, tooting its deep, loud whistle and starting its powerful engine. Its big wheels started to move. He is a big engine. The train moved a little way along the track, but it was too big and clumsy to swing and turn on the curving track. It tried and tried, but at last it had to roll back. Oh, he couldn't make that sharp curve. He's too big. Then all the other powerful engines tried to pull their trains along the track, but not even the strongest one could stay on. Finally, it was Charlie's turn. He tooted his whistle and off he went. Hooray for Charlie! He went up and down and all around the shiny track as if it was his country route. He made all the curves, stopped at all the stops, and tooted all the way into the city. So on this side, there's those trains that couldn't stay on the track. There's Charlie. They found the right track for him. That's what it's all about. We all have different capabilities, don't we? The big trains could hardly believe their eyes. They stood there as Charlie tooted and whistled his way along the track. Now Charlie was busy all day long, and the big trains were parked behind the station. Only Charlie could get to the city while the track was being repaired. All those big trains, they look sad because they can't work. But Charlie can do it. That's why it's better when we all work together, because we all have different skills that can help one another. All right. Oh, I guess we were wrong about that Charlie, admitted one of the big engines. He isn't only a little country train, after all. And when the track was ready again, all the big trains lined up and gave a big toot toot salute. Then they put Charlie at the head of the line so he could lead them into the city. Oh, Charlie felt so proud. And look, they're all making their noises. There they are in the line. Honk, toot toot, woo, whoop whoop. They're all cheering him on, and Charlie's there at the front of the line. When it was time to go back to the country, Charlie was sad to leave his new city friends, but as he went up and down and all around the countryside, he remembered what they had said. He was a good country train and a good city train, too. He just had to find the right track, didn't he? And that is the end of this book. And I forgot to tell you, it was written by Diane C. O'Hanson. And the pictures are by Mike Smolin. I hope you like Charlie Comes to Town. And don't forget, the more votes I get, the more chance that you'll listen to it next Monday. All right, bye-bye. Have fun.